What is up, everybody? This is Brian, the Toyota guy over here at Fred Anderson Toyota in Asheville, North Carolina. And today I just want to take a few minutes to kind of show you some of my favorite features on the new 2021 Toyota Venza. Now this happens to be a Venza Limited. It is the upper echelon, of course, of the trim level, so it's pretty feature packed. And you know, obviously anytime that a brand brings out an all new vehicle, well, the Venza's been around, but they kind of killed it off and brought it back. But anytime that they bring something back like that, it gives, you know, in this case, Toyota a chance to really kind of redefine their brand and maybe kind of go a little bit riskier with some of their moves. And I'm actually a big supporter of the Venza. If I was going to have any of the hybrid SUV lineup, this is where I would start. I think I'd almost prefer to have this over a RAV4, unless I was maybe to get like a RAV4 Adventure. And these Venza Limiteds, with all their features and all the tech, can easily be found in the 40s. In fact, here is the window sticker for this one. I don't know if we can see it too well, but there is the MSRP right there of $44,800. And we can kind of just scroll through the list of features, the standard features here. Of course, it's got window tint. It's a little tricky to read. You can see here's some of the additional stuff here. And now I'll just kind of walk into the inside and show you some stuff that I really love about this. Before I do step inside, I just want to point out that I'm just a real huge fan of the design cues on this car. I think they've done a really good thing. I like the LED light bar in the back, which is, you know, kind of a trend right now in the industry, but I think this is an impressively good shape. And especially for Toyota, there's just a lot of little details on this that I think really kind of redefine the brand. You know, just the way that these bumper lights are integrated into the bumper is extremely subtle. And even just little things like this, of course, this is a limited model, but these brushed aluminum panels that are here, and just a little bit of trim that's around the speaker actually looks really quality. And then I even noticed when I flipped up the mat, which honestly, this is not a section that probably a whole lot of people would notice, but when I flipped up the carpet here, you have more brushed aluminum panels there on the side, which, you know, that was definitely an intentional decision, and those look really good. And then even the strap for pulling up underneath for the spare tire is this really nice leather with the chrome snap on there, and it's just got a really good quality feel. Tons of room back in here, but it's just kind of the little touches like this, the LED lighting everywhere. This is some of the stuff that I really like about these newer cars from Toyota. Now that we're inside, let's just give a real huge shout out to the interior design of this car. Again, if I was to take the badging off of this, so you didn't know it was a Toyota, you didn't know it was a Venza, I don't think anybody would really have a clue who designed this car. This actually pulls from a lot of what I think is European styling, specifically some of the Germans, just with the way some of the symmetry is. I just love this shape down here. This is like a 12.3-inch touchscreen, and I think it's actually really well integrated. This is the larger screen that you can get on these higher trim models. You've also got a digital display right here in the center of the gauges, of course. But I'm just a huge fan of this overall layout, and for it being of the higher trim level, it doesn't feel like it's just completely overloaded with buttons. I'm not gonna lie, this is actually my first time being in here and kind of sitting with this, and it only took me maybe a couple minutes to kind of understand the layout. Even kind of the operation of the screen here actually makes really good sense. So I think for people that are maybe not completely tech savvy, of course there's always going to be a learning curve with stuff like this, but this one's not going to be too bad. Definitely a better improvement than the European rivals, and I think even some of the Hondas. But as we look down here, some of the features that are real specific here with the Limited, of course, would be the heated steering wheel. There's the quick access to the camera, and then this is the auto high beams as part of Toyota Safety Sense features. But the 360 camera, or the bird's eye view, is one of the main features that everybody seems to really rave about with these Toyotas. And as we can see here, there is the bird's eye view kind of doing its perimeter check. So if you're wanting to just maybe look and make sure there's nothing left you know, around the car before you go, you can kind of get a quick top-down view. You can even go in and kind of adjust the color of the car. Like this one's black, so let's just go ahead and do that. So now you can see we've got a black car. Just, you know, I don't know who needs to do that, but again, there's that bird's eye view where it kind of shows you like a kind of a bubble view, and you can pause it anywhere if you want to maneuver around things. And then of course, if you just go ahead and put the car in reverse, this is the more traditional 360 camera that everybody's used to, where you've got the parking lines there, you've got the top down view on the right with your regular camera there. You can make the camera a little bit more of a wide angle, so you can see now we're looking out almost to our direct left and right for your blind spots. So that is a really great feature. On this model, we also have the heads-up display, which I don't know if I'll be able to really get on camera because it's always tricky to do. But there is a heads-up display that shows up right up here. Oh, you can almost see it for a second there. There it is. It's probably blinking like crazy, but there's the heads-up display, which will not only show you your guidelines as far as the lane tracing system, but also shows you obviously your speed, your kind of a little bit of fuel economy info, and then it also reads the traffic signs so that you can actually know what the speed limit is up there in front of you. Now that of course is something you can turn on or off for some people that don't like it, but I think it's a fantastic feature and it just kind of modernizes the whole feel. But kind of jumping back into this dashboard layout, I like that everything is kind of well set up here. Like you do have all of your climate control buttons here on the dashboard. Yes, you can go into the climate control screen and make these same adjustments, but you don't have to. I cannot stand cars that eliminate the buttons down here. And it's the only thing I hate about some of the Teslas and some of the all-screen cars is I feel like for most people, auto climate and radio dials and stuff like that, glove box openings, all it needs to have quick access here so that anybody can get on here. So you can see you can do everything you want to as far as your auto climate, your dual zone, everything there. You can obviously turn on and off the stereo from here. It's just the main power switch. And then up here on the screen, you can kind of have this left half the display and the right half the display as different things. And really when you combine this with the center screen down here, you've got technically 3 different screens that you can kind of display information because a lot of them share features. So let's just say you want to know what kind of music you're listening to. You can do that here from the center screen, or you can also do it here from the dashboard, and you can even pull it up from over here also if you want to have more information going on this one. And you can actually control this by going in here to the audio. So you can see now we technically have our music, and our music, which I bring that up because that gives you a lot of different ways to kind of customize what it is you want to look at. So maybe let's just say you want this to be maybe your driving statistics, or maybe, you know, you want to see some kind of nerdy stuff about the car's performance, or maybe you want quick access to some of the, you know, maybe your heated seats are on or off, things like that. You can have that while you can still have your map over here on the right side screen, your navigation going, and then of course have your information down there, maybe for vehicle info or music or whatever. Of course, maybe you want to have your Apple CarPlay, your projection, any of that stuff you can have set on there. So just a really cool layout, and you can actually see if I hit this little button here, you can basically flip-flop where you want those 2 screens to be. And there might be a way where you can just collapse everything and make everything one view, but I like the fact that you can just kind of flip these things around so that maybe you just want to have your information here, you know, or you want to have your music there. We can go back to audio and put that there, and then maybe have your other stuff here. So it just gives you a couple different ways to customize that. Now, a lot can be said about the overall interior design of this. Again, I think it's just really well put together. I think the build quality is nice. The materials are nice. You have leather and soft touch features everywhere you look, especially on the doors. And this specific color combo is what they call the coffee and black, or cafe and black, something like that, where you can see you've got mostly black with brown stitching going up through the seats, even down here through the center, and even a little bit in the back as we look kind of on the sides. You can see it running up the sides of the seats there. You can see we have brown seat belts. I'm sorry, we have black seat belts, excuse me. But you have this really nice kind of wood trim that is accented here on the inside of the dashboard, which I actually like because I'm not a big fan of those big wood panels that just go across the front of the dash. But I think the main thing that people like to talk about with these new Venzas, because this is a brand new feature for the Toyotas, is of course this one has the panoramic moonroof. And for anybody that knows these, they know that the big feature with the panoramic moonroof is that this has the electronically controlled frosted glass. I forget the name for it. It's a electronic something. It's a, you know, it's something about how the electrons do and how it changes something in the glass. I can't explain the science to it, but as you can see right now, as we have the shade open, it still has a little bit of like a frosted look to it. You can see it almost looks like there's dew or something on the roof. You can almost see it's like a little speck of dirt that's right up here, but there's no translucency. It's just a little bit of soft white light coming through. But up on here on the dashboard, if we push this button, now if we go back, you can see now we have a regular sunroof, and you can see straight out to the sky just like any other sunroof would be. But now the cool thing is just how quick this works. So now I'm going to push the button. You can watch what happens. So quick. It's like instantaneous how quick it just shifts like that. So it gives you like another level of control. And I think I've only seen this feature on a few high-end cars. I know McLaren, I think, was one of the first ones to really put that in some of their cars. You know, we're talking, you know, $500,000 cars and up that have that feature, and now you have a $45,000 Toyota that has that feature baked in. So just an extremely impressive feature. Probably my other thing that I'd like to mention is, and this is not just for the Venzas, but if equipped with this, you have the option to have, of course, this is your smart rear view mirror, which has things that you're expected to find, like your home link, where you can do your garage door openers and things like that. But what's most important to me is you can see right now we just have it in the regular view. But let's just say you've got a car full of people, maybe you've got all of your stuff in the back there. If you were to flip this up, now it switches to a camera. So now it uses the camera system on the back. So you have an extremely wide angle view. You can see the little camera logo up there. You've got an extremely wide angle view of everything that's going on behind you with absolutely no reflection of the interior. And what's neat is you can go into the settings here, and you can even adjust maybe the position of that camera. So if you need it higher or lower, you can go in and set that, and you can just see it goes back and forth extremely easy. All right, so this is gonna just about do it for today's video. Again, not a full comprehensive look on the Venza, but while I had a few minutes to spend some time in this one before I send it home on delivery today, I just wanted to kind of do kind of a quick walk around of some of the features that I'm most excited about. You know, some of the features that I think is gonna set this car apart from the others. If you're maybe, you know, in the market for a smaller SUV, I shouldn't say smaller, I guess a mid-size SUV. There's no third row on this, which is what I was thinking of there. But I'm overall extremely impressed. Of course, all the Venzas come hybrid only. It's a 2.5 liter 4-cylinder, same as they use in the Camrys and the RAV4s and some of the other vehicles along the lineup of Toyota and Lexus. But extremely impressive car, drives smooth, power is good, fuel economy is fantastic. So if you've not checked out a Venza, I would definitely do so. If you're in the Asheville, Western North Carolina, come by Fred Anderson Toyota on Brevard Road and come ask for Brian. As always, thanks so much and have a great day.